I hope you all have must seen my previous videos in which we have done the topic nutrition, under which the two types of nutrition we have done, autotrophic and heterotrophic. We have explained all the functions of the various organs of human digestive system. Students, at the last end of the topic, one small topic was there in your book, that is about the dental caries and tooth decay. What does it mean? It means that softening of your tooth enamel, gradual softening of tooth enamel. So we can write gradual, it means gradual softening of tooth enamel. Now, what is the cause of this softening? What is the main cause? Students, what happens when we eat something? Okay, any kind of food or sugar, when we eat, it gets stuck in the teeth, in our mouth, or get lost between the teeth. Okay, assume that this is your teeth, assume that, okay, and here the food gets stuck or sugar particles get stuck. Now on this food particle or sugar, bacteria feeds, microorganisms, they feeds on this sugar and convert it into acid. Okay, what happens when we eat anything, food particles or the sugar material that gets stuck between the teeth and on which the bacteria feeds, and they convert this sugar into acid. Now we all know that acids are corrosive in nature. Okay, it corrodes the tooth enamel. Enamel is the outermost covering of your teeth, and that is the hardest substance. Even it is the hardest substance, then the acid is able to corrode it. Okay, so this acid corrodes this tooth enamel and that causes the tooth decay or tooth cavities. If you will not take proper care of it, then it leads to infection. Okay, now have you understood this? I will repeat it again. What happens when we eat something that's stuck between the teeth, on which the bacteria feed and convert that sugar into acid? Acid corrodes the tooth enamel. Okay, now these bacteria along with the food particles forms a yellow covering on the teeth, that is called the dental plaque. Yellow covering, that is called dental plaque. What is dental plaque? That is the masses of bacterial cells along with the food particles forms a layer on the tooth enamel. That is called the dental plaque. Now in our mouth, saliva is having very important role. Saliva, we have studied that, secretes by salivary glands. Okay, now what is the nature of this saliva? It is basic in nature. Okay, saliva, that is due to basic in nature. It has the capacity to neutralize the acid, as we all know that. Base neutralizes the effect of acid. So saliva has the ability to neutralize this acid, but it do not reach to this acid. Why? Due to the formation of this plaque. Due to the covering on the teeth, the saliva do not reach to these bacteria that is produced by these bacteria. So that it leads to more infection and more problem. Irritation also, pain also. Okay, so what should we do? what should we do? We should do regular brushing after every meal, or we should use toothpaste that should be basic in nature. That we can do. Okay, so this is the small topic that was left, and that is given in your book in under the more to know box. In your 10th standard, you have to do each and every line of your book. Okay, you have to understand it. So we have done the dental caries and tooth decay. Now move to the next very important life process. So our next very important life process is respiration. What is respiration? We have studied in Holozoic nutrition, or we are saying we are eating food because it gives us energy. How does it possible? We eat food and it gives us energy. That process of giving energy is the respiration. Okay, students? In nutrition, we have done only the digestion of the food, not the production of the energy. Now we will study how the food we are using to produce energy, and that process is called respiration. Okay, so what is the definition of the respiration? It is the oxidation of glucose to produce energy for doing various reactions or various physical activities. Okay, that process is called respiration. Oxidation of glucose to produce energy. Now sometimes students get confused with another term, that is breathing. They are thinking that the breathing and respiration, these both terms are same. Are these terms same? Breathing and respiration, are these two terms are same? We can say breathing is only the physical process. Physical process of inhaling and exhaling oxygen. Inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. Okay, this is the simple process of inhalation and exhalation. Oxygen we are taking in and carbon dioxide we are releasing. Now what happens when oxygen get into our body? Okay, then this oxygen is utilized under the process respiration to produce energy. And in this process, in the process of respiration, the carbon dioxide is produced, and this carbon dioxide we are exhaling out. Understood? This is only the physical process of intake of oxygen and exhale of carbon dioxide. But internal, the processing that is going on by using the oxygen and to produce carbon dioxide, that is the respiration. So students, what we can say about the breathing and respiration? Breathing, it is the intake of oxygen and exhale of CO2. Respiration, that is oxidation of glucose of food to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. Breathing, it is a physical process. Respiration, it is a biochemical process. In breathing, no energy is released, rather it is used. Energy is released in the form of ATP. Breathing, it is the extracellular process, means it takes place outside the cell. It is a intra and intracellular process. It is confined to certain organs only, okay, and it occurs in all the cells of the body that do respiration and produce energy. Now, on the basis of availability of oxygen, there are two types of respirations. One is aerobic and other one is anaerobic. What does it mean? Aerobic means it takes place in the presence of oxygen. In the different form we will do, and it takes place in the absence of oxygen or lack of oxygen. Lack means shortage. Okay, now in this process, oxygen is required or it is present. It is present in aerobic respiration. So there is complete oxidation of food. Complete oxidation of food or glucose. And in this process the availability of oxygen is less or it is absence, so that there is the incomplete oxidation of food takes place. Incomplete oxidation of glucose. Now here, if the complete processing of glucose has been done, so the large amount of energy is released. In this process, large amount of energy is released. And we all know that the energy released or the energy that are released in the respiration is gets stored in our body in the form of ATP. So in aerobic respiration, 38 ATP molecules are formed, and due to the incomplete processing of the food or the glucose, less amount of energy is produced, that is only 2 ATP molecules are formed. As compared to it is very less. This aerobic respiration takes place in cytoplasm and mitochondria. Okay, and anaerobic respiration, this also gets started in cytoplasm, but mitochondria is not involved. Mitochondria not involved. Okay, so in the difference form you can understand it better, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Now students, I want to one question to you. How could you say that the gas that we are exhaling, that is carbon dioxide, how could you say that the gas that we exhale is carbon dioxide? To show this, we can do one activity. You all have must studied in lower sections also. When CO2 passed through lime water, it turns milky. When CO2 passed through lime water, it turns milky. That is the test for the presence of the gas CO2. Okay, now what is lime water? It is calcium hydroxide. Okay, when carbon dioxide pass through calcium hydroxide, it will turn milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3 PPT. White color PPT. due to which the milkiness will appear. And as you all know, we have studied in chapter 1, PPT means insoluble substance. Okay, that means this substance is insoluble in water and it appears separately it appears to us. Okay, that's why the milkiness appeared in the lime water when carbon dioxide gas passed through it. This reaction we will do in second chapter also. So you can just understand it कि when we pass carbon dioxide through lime water, it turns milky. By this test, we can show that the gas we are exhaling is carbon dioxide. By doing the simple process, take a test tube in which the lime water is there and then blow some air in it. Okay, and you will see the milkiness is there. That means carbon dioxide we are exhaling. Okay. So students, now we will do how this glucose breaks down to produce energy. We will do the processing of glucose, means oxidation of glucose, okay, by various pathways, by the different steps, different processes. Okay. Now what happens? See, this is glucose, it's a substrate. Okay, it is C6H12O6. It is 6 carbon molecule. Now the first step is this glucose get converted into pyruvate. Okay, this glucose get converted into pyruvate in cytoplasm. Means this process takes place in cytoplasm of the cell. The glucose get converted to pyruvate. The formula of pyruvate is C3H4O3. Okay, means in this 3 carbon molecules are there. If we want to balance this reaction, okay, here the C6 are there, H12 is there, O6 is there, here is C3H4O3. So what we will do? We will put here 2. We will put here 2. It means that when one molecule of glucose get oxidized or breaks down, then 2 molecules of pyruvate will formed. Okay, there is no need to learn this formula, that is not given in your book. Okay, so you have to just learn this. When the where the glucose get oxidized, this process takes place in cytoplasm, and this is the first step of respiration that is common for aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. Understood, beta ji? This process is common for aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration, and this process takes place in cytoplasm. Okay, and for your more information, the conversion of glucose to pyruvate, this process is called glycolysis. Okay, that you will study it in higher classes. Now, what happens to glucose? This pyruvate. Student, please understand one more point. Availability of oxygen do not affect this process. Okay, whether oxygen is there or not, this process carries on in the same way. Okay, that's why we are saying this is same for aerobic as well as anaerobic process. Now, what happens to this pyruvate? That depends upon the availability of the oxygen. Okay, whether it is there or not, or in the shortage. Now step by step we will do it. Okay, the first one is, if there is absence of oxygen, if there is absence of oxygen, and this process happens in yeast, fungi, yeast. When there is the absence of oxygen, this pyruvate get converted into ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. And how much energy is released? Only 2 ATP molecules. Okay. What is ethanol? It is C2H5OH. And this anaerobic process, you can also known as, this process is also known as fermentation. Okay, we have studied when we are adding some kind of yeast, or for the bakery processes, the dough becomes soft and spongy and fluffy due to the production of carbon dioxide. This is the process only, that is the anaerobic respiration, fermentation. Okay, this process takes place in the absence of oxygen. Now the second one, when there is lack of oxygen, means there is shortage of oxygen, and this happens in our muscle cells, in our body muscle cells. Now what happens when pyruvate will get shortage of oxygen or less oxygen? Then it will get converted into lactic acid plus 2 ATP molecules, less amount of energy. Students, this is extra for you, that is C3H6O3. This is the formula of lactic acid. Now what happens? When we will do heavy exercise, or after many days we will do exercise, okay, now our body that was in relaxing mode, and once we will do some hard work, or we will try to do some more exercise or more hard work or more physical activity we want to do, okay, so then there will be the shortage or lacking of oxygen in our body, and we feel tired easily. Okay, at that time the lactic acid is formed in our muscles, and this lactic acid get accumulated in our muscles and causes muscle cramps, that maybe you have noticed in your daily life. Okay, the accumulation of this lactic acid causes muscle cramps, and after 2-3 days these muscle cramps get removed. Okay, if we will do the exercises on daily basis or physical activities on daily basis, then our body become habitual. Okay, then we will not feel any kind of muscle cramps. Now third step, what would be happen if there is oxygen? Okay, now if there is presence of oxygen, if there is presence of oxygen, then this process takes place in mitochondria. And you have studied in 9th standard also, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, because it is the site of respiration in which the ATP is formed. Okay, So in mitochondria, in the presence of oxygen, this pyruvate get converted into carbon dioxide plus water plus 38 ATP molecules. Okay. This pyruvate in mitochondria in the presence of oxygen get converted into CO2, water and 38 ATP molecule. And here the carbon is 3, so for balancing here the 3 carbon molecules or 3 molecules of carbon dioxide will form on the oxidation of one pyruvate. Here energy is also released. This is again extra for you, okay? When this pyruvate converted or oxidized to carbon dioxide, this process is called Krebs cycle. This you will study in higher classes. Okay, so what we have done in different ways how the glucose get oxidized. The first step is common for aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. The glucose in the cytoplasm, pyruvate. Then the fate of the pyruvate or the future of the pyruvate depends upon the availability of the oxygen. If there is absence of oxygen, this would happen in yeast. It will form ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. If there is lack of oxygen, this would take place in our muscle cells. Then it will form lactic acid, the accumulation of which causes muscle cramps and less amount of energy will formed. If it will get excess amount of oxygen or there is presence of oxygen, then this process takes place in mitochondria and it will form carbon dioxide, water and large amount of energy will released. In the exam, the question may be asked, full question may be asked or the different ways in the flowchart form explain the various processes of the oxidation of glucose or what would happen in the absence of oxygen. So you will write starting from the glucose, okay, glucose to pyruvate, then in yeast in ethanol and carbon dioxide. Okay, this would be your answer. If they will ask for the in your muscles what happens or in the absence of in the lack of oxygen, then you will write this one from the starting itself. Okay, if in the mitochondria they will ask, then you will start from here: glucose, pyruvate, carbon dioxide and water and energy. Okay, now here we have written 38 ATP molecules. Here the energy is released. Okay, and this energy, the energy that is released in this respiration process is used to form ATP molecules. What is ATP? What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Energy currency of the cell. It is called energy currency of the cell. The energy that is produced or released in the process of respiration, this is utilized to form ATP. So students, how this energy is used to form ATP, that is energy currency of the cell. What happens? There is like ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Tri means it is having 3 phosphate group. One is ADP, that means it is having diphosphate group, that is 2 phosphate group it is having. It forms the bond by utilizing that energy with another phosphate group. Please understand this. This used energy to form the bond with another third phosphate group. Okay, now it will form the bond with this phosphate group and now become ATP. adenosine triphosphate. And whenever there is need of energy, this bond will break down. Much energy is released on the breaking down of one bond between the terminal phosphate. Okay, and this energy we are using for various cellular activities, okay, or for various biochemical reactions in our body. So this is all about the today's session. In this we have done the respiration, types of respiration, and various pathways in which the glucose get oxidized. Okay, so next we will start with the exchange of gases in plants and animals and in human beings also.